Hey, what's going on, ladies and gentlemen? My name is Rayge, and we are back today to talk strategy, and more importantly, how we're going to prepare for ultimately Professor Xavier, his Age of X saga coming actually in just a couple weeks now. Remember, they announced that it was going to be mid-April, so we still have plenty of time to prepare. But as well, we have the new chaotic raids that are also launching today, so there's going to be more Gear Tier 20. But I want to talk quickly about what the next few weeks are going to look like in the next few months in terms of overall game planning and how we're going to maximize resources along the way, especially if you're free to play like myself and you're an end game player like myself as well. This is the most crucial time to make those preparations and making sure that we manage our resources effectively, because that's ultimately what's going to matter, right? Same strategy applied when Mephisto got released in Dark Dimension 7, when Odin came out in Dark Dimension 8. Respectively, it was Crimson Gear and Ice Wave Purple. We had to plan accordingly around those events. Now, having said that, Gear Tier 20 has been available now for the past couple weeks here. There's been back-to-back events. So these are going to be the big ones, guys. I want to talk real quickly here just about the overall strategy. Even the overall investment of what was needed for this current event right now. So the legend continues. These are the events that you want to be paying attention to, because remember how when Ice Wave Purple got released, they were also released in the way of leaderboards, and the better you do in these leaderboards, the better the payout would be. Now, if you're watching this video, obviously later on, this event might have already concluded, but the strategy overall is still, and the messaging is really what I want to share, and obviously making sure that you guys are aware kind of what the game plan is going to be. So these ranking leaderboards usually occur every 2 weeks. Okay, so next week we wouldn't expect there to be an event like this. They usually take a pause, and then the following week there is a leaderboard. So that's kind of what we did. We knew that there was going to be a leaderboard event. We see the Dynamines, but to be honest, that's not really the full picture, right? We only get glimpses in the Dynamines. And then what actually ended up happening is that this event is tied back to the current Escape from Kiln event. It's also tied back to if you're using, said team for Crucible, in this case Starjammers, and then as well if you are actually spending and using offers to get some of these other characters to 5 stars and beyond, you're going to be getting bonus points. So that's going to be the differentiator for sure as well. And again, this is where every event is going to be different, right? It's going to be up to the dynamic and the different nuances with each. But with this one anyways, farming these Undying Orb fragments from Zombie Scarlet Witch has been adding to the points overall. And that's how you actually accumulate points in addition to the Escape from Kiln, because that's what's going to separate those that are higher in the leaderboards, aside from spending, obviously, but as well, more importantly, the ones that are prepared in advance. And why I wanted to bring that to your guys' attention is because, ladies and gentlemen, these rankings are really good. If you're doing well in this right now, I mean, look at some of the rewards. Like even the top 1,000 players getting 400 pieces of these minis for Gear Tier 20. Top 2,000 is getting 320. Top 4,000 is getting at least 160. So these are very meaningful, guys. Currently right now, as it stands with me completing Escape from Kiln, I'm also coring right now the Zombie Scarlet Witch event campaign energy. So you can see I'm in the top 4,000, top 5,000 bracket. Now, why is this important? Because you need to understand where you want to be landing in this bracket. If you don't care for this at all, then you can scrap this strategy out the window. But the reason we care is because this is how we're going to fast track our way to getting more of these minis, so that way we can accumulate and upgrade characters ultimately for Age of X. Now, this was very interesting, right? So, we have to do kind of a conversion in our mind, because we need to understand at the end of the day, what are those pieces going to cost? They're not in the actual gold store yet, but you can see here, when we were transitioning to Gear Tier 18, each of these minis were $400,000. 400k good K gold per piece, right? And you also know that each unique down here, it's 800,000. So would it be fair to say that there's a likelihood that it's going to be within that range between 400 and 800,000 per mini unique? I think so. So let's just use the 600k mark as a estimate. It's gonna be important because I got a table that I want to show you. Otherwise, this Xcoin store has been very meaningful, and it's here available, as you can see, for the next 45 days. So obviously you want to be paying attention to this. And remember, guys, in case you missed my past videos, the focus right now is accumulating Mystic and Skill Gear. Reason being is because that's going to be the first section with the Age of X, so you'll be needing those respective characters. Either it's Vigilante or some other Mystic variants. In this case, it was Blade and Oath, I believe. So they're going to be the characters that help get us to that first stage, followed by the subsequent sections. So that's why we want to always, focus on what we can build to get progression on the event, and then go from there once all the teams are fully completed and expected to be able to succeed. Now, having said that, guys, let's go back to that ranking leaderboard now, and let's assume that the value that we're getting for each piece is about 600,000. Then that now gives us a pretty good visual in terms of, you know, where these pieces are going to be kind of approximating in terms of gold investment. So this is what I've got up here. This, again, Legend Continues rewards, and you can see top 2,000 players are going to get 320 pieces. If we assume that it's 600,000 gold per piece, it's going to be 192 million gold in value. Top 3,000 is going to be 144 million, and top 4,000 is going to be 96 million gold. Top 5,000, 72, top 9,000, 36. I just wanted to throw these in here so that way you can see visually, you know, what the overall value you'll be getting back, right? Now, for myself, when I brought up my Liberty team, it was close to 100 million gold. So you can see here right now what I just showed you, right? I'm currently sitting around that top 4,000 ranking, and I invested in about 100 million gold ish, plus obviously training materials and all that jazz, T4s. But you know, that's all items I actually have a lot of abundance in because I've been saving resources. So right now I'm kind of at a wash. I actually got, if the event ended right now and I was in top 4,000, I would get back basically what I invested in. And that's kind of why I'm trying to drive home here, guys. We need to understand the rewards going forward for each of these events, so that way you can see what the reward payout's going to be, and then you decide from there if that's going to be worth it in terms of the resources that you use, because that's how we're going to get a break even or a maximal value as we plan and progress closer and closer to Professor Xavier. And remember, this is a meta game where, you know, metas succeed everything else, right? Which means unlocking better characters and more recent characters is going to give you a definitive edge against your enemies, especially in a game where the dynamic constantly changes. What else am I doing on the side? Well, as I noted earlier, guys, we don't know what events are going to be in the next 2 to 3 weeks or even a month. So what I'm always doing now for the ongoing future here is, you know, many folks have always asked me, what am I doing with my power cores? Well, I'm hoarding every energy, right? Currently, I'm coring for the Red Dead rematch for Zombie Scarlet Witch, and right now for ISO8 campaign energy and campaign energy, I'm hoarding both. You know, reason being is because we don't need them right now anyways. I'm already commander level 105. The only exception would be if you're not level 105 and you still need to accumulate experience points. I would say then the priority should be leveling up your commander level, because that's more important than hoarding and preparing for these end game events. So I'll just show you on screen here. So from what we've seen in the data mines, it doesn't seem like there's going to be an ISO8 event next week. So I'll just continue hoarding. I'll just, you know, spend my 50 power cores there. And just like that, boom, I'm done with my 50s, and now I'm just slowly accumulating. I'm going to do the same thing with campaign energy as well. That's what I'm doing right now, guys. So even right now, mathematically, I'm actually spending roughly 600 power cores per day if I'm doing the 3 right now with the Zombie Scarlet Witch event. But remember, if you're doing well in Arena, I'm also earning 500 to 450 a day too. So I'm basically losing maybe 100 a day. Every single day, depending on if I, you know, once the Zombie Scarlet Witch event ends, like I won't be coring 600, it'll be coring 400, right? That's how we're preparing, guys. You do this for the next couple of months here with this kind of mentality and this kind of mindset, it's going to be the difference maker here in terms of how fast you unlock Professor Xavier, in my honest opinion, especially if you're free to play, and as well if you're a highly engaged endgame player like myself. And don't forget, guys, the new chaotic storm raids do start today as well. So that's just going to add overall to the Gear Tier 20 resources that you see right here, launching at time recording 5 hours and 25 minutes. So hopefully this is helpful, guys. Hopefully these are tips and tricks that maybe you were already aware of, but it's just me, you know, talking out loud so that way you guys can visualize it easier. But that's kind of my mindset right now. The priority is Age of X, and that's honestly the funnest thing right now because, you know, getting the newest and most powerful character is going to be roster changing. And the sooner you get a character like that in your roster, that's how you can actually get that edge over the enemies that you're up against. So do you let me know what you think in comments below, if you agree or disagree. What are you doing right now on the sideline as well? Especially if you're free to play like myself. I'm eager to hear back. Thank you for your time as always, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.